To hear Republicans tell it, the laptop allegedly belonging to Hunter Biden, the son of the current president, is the key to bringing down the first family. According to polling, of the people who were made aware of the Hunter Biden laptop story, 53% would have changed their vote, House Republican Conference Chair Elise Stefanik of New York has said. Now for Democrats, it's a different story. The laptop is the latest in a long line of red herrings, they say, a nothing burger that says more about Republicans' obsession with fact-free conspiracies than it does about Hunter or Joe Biden. So there's so much partisan smoke around this issue that it's hard to know whether there's actually any real fire here. I wanted to find out for myself, so I went digging through everything, or a lot of things, that have been written about the laptop, its origins, and its contents. Here's my attempt to separate the facts from the spin. And let's start from the beginning. Sense. In October 2020, the New York Post reported on a trove of emails that included, purportedly, proof that Joe Biden had met with the head of a Ukrainian power company named Burisma, whose board his son Hunter served on. Now that proof came in the form of an email, allegedly from an executive in the firm to Hunter that read this way. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure. Now for Republicans, that email was evidence of what they had long alleged without any proof, that Biden, as VP, had pulled strings for his son. At the center of that controversy is a December 2015 trip Biden made to Ukraine in which he called on the country to remove its top prosecutor. Republicans allege that Biden's move was an attempt to protect his son, who, as I mentioned, served on the board of Burisma. Fact checks, though, have debunked that claim over and over. Now, the Biden campaign denied the New York Post report, as did Hunter Biden. The New York Post provided no proof of the authenticity of the email. Social media companies briefly limited the ability of users to share that New York Post story, a decision which caused its own long-lasting controversy and House hearings. The emails that allegedly revealed the meeting came from a laptop. The New York Post described it and how it was obtained thusly. The computer was dropped off at a repair shop in Biden's home state of Delaware in April 2019, according to the store's owner. Other material extracted from the computer includes a raunchy 12-minute video that appears to show Hunter, who's admitted struggling with addiction problems, smoking crack while engaged in a sex act with an unidentified woman, as well as numerous other sexually explicit images. Okay, that's the New York Post. A repairman at the shop said he made a copy of the hard drive and turned that copy over to a lawyer for Rudy Giuliani. Giuliani put the materials in the hands of the New York Post. So Joe Biden suggested near the final days of the 2020 campaign that the laptop was in fact a Russian effort to disrupt the outcome of that election. Look, there are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that's what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan. Biden said in a debate with Trump around that time. He added this: they have said that this has all the characteristics. 4 or 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except him and his good friend, Rudy Giuliani. Which isn't exactly right. The letter, which was first reported on by Politico, said that the discovery of a trove of emails on the laptop, quote, has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. It expressly did not say that it was a Russian disinformation operation. In fact, the letter made clear that the former intelligence officials, quote, do not have evidence of Russian involvement. Now, Hunter Biden has never confirmed whether the laptop actually belonged to him. And you'll note that the Post story that I mentioned above never says definitively it is in fact Biden's laptop. Quote, there could be a laptop out there that was stolen from me, Hunter Biden told CBS in 2021. It could be that I was hacked. It could be that it was Russian intelligence. It could be that it was stolen from me, or that there was a laptop stolen from me. Now, an attorney for the Delaware computer shop owner told the Washington Post that Hunter Biden personally signed a repair form for the computer, but had never responded to later calls asking him to come pick it up. That repairman filed a defamation suit against Hunter Biden in 2019. In March 2023, Biden's attorneys filed, quote, counterclaims alleging invasion of privacy. That's according to ABC News. That same report said the move by Biden amounted to a major escalation in the younger Biden's increasingly aggressive legal posture towards some of his most vocal critics and those who allegedly trafficked his personal information. So what we do know is that the laptop was seized by the FBI from the Delaware computer shop in 2019. And as CNN reported in 2021, quoting here, A law enforcement source has told CNN that the assumption is that it is Hunter Biden's laptop, but the FBI is still working through the content and the integrity of what is on it because it was not in Hunter Biden's sole possession the whole time before it was handed over to the FBI. Now, what's less clear is whether the laptop is tied in any way to the ongoing federal investigation into Hunter Biden. Now, that investigation began in 2018 and was initially focused on Hunter Biden's finances. The Washington Post reported in the fall of 2022 that federal investigators believed they had enough evidence to charge Hunter Biden with, quote, tax crimes and a false statement related to a gun purchase. Now, in early May 2023, the Washington Post reported that a decision on charging Hunter Biden appears to be very close, noting that Biden's lawyers met recently in D.C. with the U.S. attorney from Delaware, a Trump appointee, I'll note, to discuss the case. Wrote the Post. Typically, that sort of meeting in which defense lawyers urge prosecutors not to seek an indictment of their client or to seek reduced charges comes toward the end of an investigation. Now, the investigation has been further complicated by the emergence of a whistleblower in April. That whistleblower alleging that the investigation into Hunter Biden's financials is riddled with conflicts of interest. The whistleblower, who is an IRS special agent, is alleging, quote, examples of preferential treatment and politics improperly infecting decisions and protocols that would normally be followed by career law enforcement professionals in similar circumstances if the subject were not politically connected. That's according to a lawyer for the whistleblower. Anyway, back to the laptop. In late 2022, the Washington Post was given access to a hard drive purportedly containing the data from the laptop that is allegedly connected to Hunter Biden. The Post was able to conclude that nearly 22,000 of the 129,000 emails contained on that hard drive were extremely likely to be authentic and not faked in any way. Security experts the Post employed were unable to make the same determination about the other 100,000 or so emails. Which begs this question: what was in those 22,000 emails? Well, here's what the Post wrote. Many of the nearly 22,000 verified emails were routine messages such as political newsletters, fundraising appeals, hotel receipts, news alerts, product ads, real estate listings, and notifications related to his daughter's schools or sports teams. There was also a large number of bank notifications with about 1,200 emails from Wells Fargo alone. Other emails contained exchanges with Hunter Biden's business partners, personal assistants, or members of his family. Some of these emails appear to offer insights into deals he developed and money he was paid for business activities that opponents of his father's bid for the presidency sought to make a campaign issue in 2020. The Post story also noted that its investigators, quote, found evidence that people other than Hunter Biden had accessed the drive and written files to it, both before and after the initial stories in the New York Post and long after the laptop itself had been turned over to the FBI, end quote. So what? Look, the real question here is whether the laptop has any role in the ongoing investigation into Hunter Biden that maybe could be resolved any day now. And the honest answer is that no one not involved in the investigation knows the answer to that question. What you make of the laptop seems to come down to where you land on the partisan spectrum. The facts are that much of what's on it is unverified and may well be unverifiable.